spell it out already. And of course I have the pig. But I haven't decided on the color pattern. I thought I did, but I found the perfect person to give this to. I already have it picked out. I usually don't have anybody in mind when I make a lot of these bracelet singles, but usually the right person comes along and it's meant for that person. And I got a wonderful message. Yesterday was amazing, by the way. I just have to mention, thank you, AA, for making my dreams come true. And I bought my summit ticket for May 11th. Everything's going to work out, and I'm going to go see the specialist. I'm going to get to know all the cutting edge research on EDS. So thank you, AA. Thank you so much for your donation. Like, seriously, I'm so excited and happy. I definitely had happy tears yesterday. I had a little bit of a cocooning rest day yesterday. I really didn't accomplish much. I just needed the rest. And I just wanted to say yesterday was an amazing day. I woke up and had that donation. AA, thank you. You really did make my heart so happy yesterday. I've been having such a terrible week. I got bad news earlier this week. I have to find a new neurosurgeon. My neurosurgeon that did my last surgery, I guess, is retired. I still have the MRIs, but we have nowhere to send the MRIs to, or no neurosurgeon to send them to. I have to find a new specialist to help me. And it devastated me this week, that news did. That is like one of my hardest things to come through and face is my medical PTSD. And finding a doctor is the hardest thing for me. It is the hardest thing for me to face and go through, because the research and the time it takes to find somebody that takes the insurance, that knows about EDS, that can work with me, or is willing to do surgery on an EDS person, because a lot of doctors are not, or a lot of surgeons are not willing to work on somebody with EDS. They're too scared and they don't know enough about EDS, and it's so rare that they're like, we can't touch you, we're afraid, we don't want to kill you, basically. I don't know. I don't know what the fear is, but that's the risk that I am willing to take for a better quality of life, I want help. I'm going to a doctor for help, and then for the doctor to refuse to help you because it's not severe enough, or the risk doesn't outweigh the benefit in their mind, but in my mind, it does. I'm the one living with this, not them. It just sucks that I get gaslit all the time by doctors. And being a woman, I have this way more frequently. That's why I've had to resort to taking my mother to a lot of my doctor appointments, because two people are better than one for witness. And it does help keep the doctors in mind a little bit. I'm not going to lie, it does. I wished I had a man in my life, because having a man with me would significantly increase my chances of getting better treatment. It's just freaking known bias in a lot of the chronic illness community, because the majority of chronically ill people are women. We have more susceptibility to a lot more diseases than men. I blame the hormones. I don't know. I blame the hormones. I think hormones have a lot more to do with it than doctors really admit. And there's a lot more that they just don't know. And I like to know and be on top of cutting edge research, the newest things available, the newest things that are being done to the patient population, the target patient population that is affected by certain things. I'm glad that I'm finally getting more involved with the medical community, so I can advocate for myself, advocate for others, and only inform and grow my brain bigger. I mean, that's really, like I said, much. I mean, it was all on PowerPoint, and I had printed out the PowerPoint ahead of time. I was really prepared yesterday for the class for once. That's because I was excited to learn something new, and I really didn't learn much new except for I did learn that binaural, which is bi means two, and neural is like the brain. So it is connecting the two parts of your brain hemispheres into one with certain tones that are barely audible, and it has to be done through a headset with two speakers or earbuds, whatever. But Stanford University has found significant brain volume increase in using binaural auditory sounds while doing deep breathing exercise, meditative type breathing. So a guided meditation, like 10 to 20 minutes, 20 minutes a day minimum for 3 months, has shown increases in brain size, vice brain shrinkage, which happens when you don't work out your brain and use your brain regularly to learn something new or take a new pathway or do something different throughout your day that is not routine, that changes things up, that will help your brain grow. Your brain is like a muscle. It is malleable. Your brain can change. You can change your brain. You can rewire it. It takes practice, just like with anything. You have to do it repeatedly. And repetition is key in order to make your brain grow. And it has also shown, there was a study shown through, I don't know who, I can't remember who they said it was through. It might have been Stanford itself, I'm not positive. But in the 80s, there was some testing done with binaural sounds versus classical music versus nothing. While patients of a certain surgery were selected to be one of 3 different groups, and that those 3 different groups, the 0 group had no sound during anesthesia while they were under, the doctors performing the surgery. They didn't mention what type of surgery. I don't know. It was just the same surgery for every single person. So there was no deviation in the control group versus the regular group versus the classical music versus the binaural sounds. And all of them had headphones on, but they didn't know which group they were part of because they're under anesthesia and they don't have any control over their response whatsoever. No control. The anesthesiologist is the only one that has the control over regulating how much anesthesia you need, your heart rate, your blood pressure, all that stuff. They have to monitor that nonstop. It's not like they give you the stuff and leave the room. So what they told me and informed me of during the study yesterday, a lot of information, backstory about how binaural works and why it's proven to work even under anesthesia. It has regulated a person's nervous system. So the people with no sound, they had to have more anesthesia and more monitoring than the classical music group. The classical music group were still calm, but they still, not too much difference. But the binaural group that had the sounds under anesthesia, they require less anesthesia. They had more regular heart rate, lower heart rate, and regular blood pressure than the other 2 groups that did not have the binaural sounds. Isn't that some amazing statistics? I mean, they didn't give numbers, they just, of course, they're probably going to say the best parts of their study to help prove their, hypothesis about how this works. So what they're doing is Stanford University is now conducting a study with the Marfan Foundation, which is under the foundation that I did the study under, or signed up under yesterday. The study is going to last for at least a minimum of 3 months, and I am to use their app for binaural meditative breathing practices once a day minimum. It doesn't hurt to do more. Up to 3 times a day I can do it, but what the binaural sounds do is they do reset your brain and reset your central nervous system, the things that you have no control over, that's just automatically controlled. Your heart rate, your blood pressure, your body temperature, that stuff is automatically controlled by the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system. And this binaural sounds will reset and calm your muscles, your blood pressure, your heart rate. After just 20 minutes of using this guided app with the sounds that will alternate between left and right, to calm your nervous system, which in turn calms your immune system, which by no means is any of this a replacement for pain, but it helps reduce pain because it reduces blood pressure, stress, it relaxes your muscles a little bit, and so this has just been proven. And I haven't tried the app yet today. I went through a live guided one yesterday during the class, so I haven't used the app yet today, but I will be after I go through a lot of my appointments because I'm going to need it. I have not taken my pain medication today, which is the first. I usually do it before I get out of bed, but I'm really trying to not use it. I really would love to get off of the pain medication. I know it's not really feasible, but at least reducing the use of where I've had it in order to get relief is what I need to do. I need my body to just get normalized on just the regular meds without the pain meds, but I don't think this is going to happen without surgery. I don't think I can get off of it completely. I do find that once I did the guided meditation, my pain was actually a lot less, and I was a lot less stressed. I did find that my racing thoughts were calmer, less anxious yesterday after I did the guided binaural stuff. So, you know what? If Stanford has found great results with this, and they've been studying it little by little throughout the years, I think it's worth a shot, and I'm going to just do it every single day. 20 minutes out of my day, every day. I'm going to take the information to my doctor today, actually, and I see my primary a little bit later this morning after my chiro. Going to the chiro, then I'm turning around and going right back home because I don't have the energy to be out and about as much today because I know I'm going to be out later because I have to meet up with my cousin around 5 o'clock today. So I'm trying to conserve my energy by wasting gas by going home for like an hour just to turn around and go back into town and go to the primary doctor. It's not cost effective. I do need to go to my bank too and deposit my check that I finally got from the post office. That has been another downfall this week that I've been pissed off about. I get the post office app where I get to see all my mail in my mailbox that's going to happen that day. Well, I finally received the check according to the scan on Monday. My check from the post office for destroying my jars of pickles. 2 boxes full of pickles. I only made a claim on 1 box because I couldn't find receipts for anything to proof of purchase besides just the 55 something pounds of cucumbers. So I decided to only do 1 claim versus 2, even though the post office messed up 2 boxes, 1 to Alabama, 1 to Vegas, and broke jars of my pickles, and broke an antique necklace that I made for my friend. She had antique beads and I had those on there, and it busted that. So I'm a little pissed off about that. But I was even more pissed off because it showed that the post office check was going to arrive in my mailbox Monday. So I stopped in Monday right before they closed. I'm like, where would it be? They're like, could have just got whatever. But show up tomorrow or the next day. Well, it didn't show up Tuesday, and it didn't show up Wednesday. So Wednesday, I went down to the post office again, and it was a different worker at the desk, and I told them the situation. After I was like, well, how long should it take to show up? Because it's been 3 days, and it's still not here, and it's a check, and it's very important. I've been waiting on it forever, and I'm broke, and I really need it now. I needed it Monday. So you had me write down my name and address, and then miraculously, yesterday morning, the other carrier that I talked to on Monday that said it should show up, she came walking down our street. There's no street parking, and so she actually parked outside our street and walked all the way down our street to deliver my check to my door, which I didn't answer right away, but the ring doorbell, my dad, I guess, answered it. But I heard my dog bark, and I went to calm her down. I'm like, no, calm down, it's fine. Then I was like, and then my dad's like, at the door. I'm like, at the door. And then she had just put it in my mailbox, and I like hollered out to her like, hey, and she was like, she walked back, turned around, walked right back. She was in her raincoat. It was kind of sprinkling yesterday morning. And so, yeah, I got my freaking post office check finally. So I got my post office check. I got my class done and over with, and I did feel a little bit less pain because I did that guided thing. And so I've been having a really good day, a really good morning. It started off pretty good too. I'm still in pain. My first rib is out, and I know my SI joint is out on my lower back. I can already describe to my chiro what I need to do. Usually it's a pretty big deal because even with taking painkillers in the morning, I can still describe where my pain is at, how and where he needs to press. I mean, I'm his number one patient because I am able to communicate, because I am so grounded and inside my body that I know how to turn myself inwards to ground myself, to know and feel what I need to feel in order to communicate and get effective treatment options. Not many people can do that. He's like, for a while I was just number 1 out of 10, out of the top 10. And then over time, especially lately, I've been able to communicate more precise, exact locations, and it shocks the heck out of us every single time. I tell you, like it really shocks. He's like, "What? There it goes," and he's just as shocked as I am because I know my body and I know what is wrong. But I need to forget about what's wrong sometimes, and I really need help gaining control over how my physiologic response is to pain, and just reiterating all information I knew already kind of yesterday, except for about the binaural thing in particular. I've never heard of it before yesterday. So I'm very glad that I signed up for this study because it will help me in my pain management journey along with the pain medication. It's not to replace any kind of treatment or anything. It's not meant to. I talked to the person of the study, and she told me that their results are in the JAMA Open Network, which is one of the biggest, largest peer-reviewed research journal networks in the world. They have researchers from all over the world writing all these this research, and I am a subscriber of JAMA, and I get these emails every day from all the different specialties about all the different therapies, treatments, and research that's going on. I'm not on top of it right now because I'm busy trying to live my life and stuff right now too. I go on deep dives. I learn whatever I can learn in the time that I have each day. But I don't tend to want to focus on it lately because I've got so much other stuff I gotta do. But it's all about perspective and making the time for yourself. I consider it part of my self-care routine to being able to look into research and look into what is the driver, why is this so rare, why is this so underdiagnosed, and why are we not getting the help that we so desperately need in my population of EDS, people with chronic illness. There's still just so much not known. There's so much not known, and wish that that information was more readily available and not misinformation, because that happens all the time. There's so much misinformation out there, and who do you believe? Like, I have a Bachelor of Science, so I know how to research more credible sources, scientific sources. I believe in science. But I also believe that you need to have spirituality too in order to have something to believe in, have some goals in life, to love yourself, to love being alive, and to enjoy and being able to have happiness in your life. Goals, spirituality, something to believe in. Whether you believe in yourself or not, I think you should believe in yourself, because the amazing thing is your body is amazing. Your human life is amazing, and it's a miracle. Everything that happens behind the scenes in our bodies that we don't even think about or have any control over. But we have more control over things than we realize. And the power of the brain will always win. The power of the brain, you just have to work it out. And repetition's key. It's just like any other muscle. Just keep working it out and you will make gains. And just keep at it. Keep smiling. Love life. I know I had more to say, but I'm at my appointment and I gotta go. So I love